Alright, we are now back. No more mic delay on Rooster's mic. And unfortunately, sorry for the no more. The SLL still re-encodes it to 60 FPS, so it's still gonna look a little bit more smooth. But if you notice any like degradation, like the video smoothness, yes, that is because I did have to switch back to 30 FPS. Fortunately, the bitrate available to me does not support 60 FPS on my side. Sorry. But we are almost ready for the next run, so stay tuned for that.
Alright, we should be live.
Please let me know when you're
Get to
ready
the main
begin.
menu here. Okay, so this is Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. Very glitchy game. You have a 1-minute cutscene to watch at the start that will have no audio because of stuff I'll explain. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started. So start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so the reason why there's no audio here is because we delete the video folder in the game's directory because it makes loading consistent between versions. I think it was language differences that had the main difference. So we just decided to allow deleting the video folder. So there's no sound right now, but it'll come back once the actual time starts. So the way this run goes is the first like 10 minutes is going to be standard platforming with a couple little tricks. And after that, it's going to be this one glitch called zipping that I'm just going to do over and over again. I'll explain that as we get closer to it. And here we go.
The prince made his way along the torn and blasted district, haunted by visions from his past. The dockside tavern where he'd spent many late nights was now reduced
Just
to
some
cinders.
casual platforming here.
Babylon's proud armada.
I could try to explain the
Often
story a bit.
lay
Like,
cracked and broken.
the premise is this is the third game in the series.
Everywhere there are
So we're
signs
coming
of
like
battle.
back home
What have
after
the bones
adventures.
gone? Where
But
have
then
they
like all
gone?
these monsters are killing everyone. But like story really makes no sense once we get past the first 10 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna do a little trick here called fish gutter skip. Just like that. That little weird wall run just skipped getting the first weapon of the game, which is really nice. One, just because it's faster, and also we don't have a weapon now, which might sound bad, but it's really nice because you don't auto-target the enemies. And like if I had a weapon, the prince would like jump off walls because the enemies are around, and it would make it way more annoying to deal with. So you might have saw that weird jump I did off the wall down there. It's called a safety fall. Right there, I just did it because it's like a little faster animation, but the main use of it is what I'll do right now, which is you can actually survive from higher drops. So instead of using the curtain there, I'm just going to kind of fall and then do a safety fall, which is that animation. It's just a secondary attack off the wall, which you can actually do it without any weapons, which is kind of surprising, but if you just press attack and jump, then the prince does the animation even though you don't have any weapons.
Intent on bringing harm to my
And
family.
it's used in certain places. I think in this, the first 10 minutes is the only
Every day spent
main
dreaming
area
of
we
the
use it
battle.
in this category,
But
because
never,
once we get a
in all
weapon,
my
we're going to
visions of
have
the future
another
did I suspect a
way
horror
to fall
such as
down, which
this.
is even more broken.
War. It is the only answer. But war
I'm going to
with
do
whom?
another attack here.
Why?
This is the torpedo attack. And that the only reason to do that is so the archer doesn't mess with me. You saw, like, you might have saw the arrow that was in my back. Yeah, I just did that so the archer didn't stun me, and I was just able to continue.
But duty. I was his responsibility.
I do a
We had
little
made a
jump
promise,
trick
a
here.
promise that was
Nice.
now broken and undone.
It's just slightly faster than shimmying
As
across
with
the
all
planks there.
mistakes he had made, the prince meant to fix this.
Ah, that was
A noble goal
lame.
to be
I was
certain,
trying to jump
but a
straight to the
selfish
right
one as
there,
well,
but that's fine.
for he was motivated to ease his own pain.
I know these streets. Knew them anyway.
This section is a lot of just like kind of precise jumps. There's one jump in particular that can be really scary because you lose a lot of time if you miss it. I might not go for it, depends on the enemies. If they behave, then I'll try and do it. Yeah, so like all these sections here, like, because I don't have a weapon, it's like so much easier to get through. It's right there when I was rolling. If I had a weapon, the prince probably would have like vaulted over the enemy and made me sad. Because that's slow and also very frustrating. So far this is going pretty well, but I got fish gutter skip like really quickly. But the scary parts of this section is actually towards the end because of archers. They have like the worst RNG. These ones are no problem. But after I death abuse, because I'm going to actually need to get the dagger, the fish gutter that we skipped at the start of the game. I do need to get it at some point. Because if I don't, then the game can't like progress and it won't give me the dagger of time. And we definitely want the dagger of time.
Where is kind Asha, who would stand before her stall selling fruits and flowers? Or the errant
So the
children
jump I was
making
talking about
trouble
is
as
coming
all
up
young
here.
ones do?
I'll try and go for it if the enemies
Gone.
don't troll me. If they get too close, I'll probably just abandon it because I want to make sure I set it up well enough. Alright, that should work. Nice. That little jump there, very simple thing, but it saves 9 seconds, which is quite a lot for like a little platforming section. So this is a spot where I need to death abuse. I'm just going to roll forward, get the checkpoint, and then die.
Home.
Now I have the
And
fish gutter that I
things
skipped
as I
earlier.
remember. Objects once familiar and comforting. now
This is
filled
one of
with
the really bad
uncertainty.
spots with
happened here?
archers. Gonna try and side roll through it like this. Seems to be working out so far. Prince, don't do this? Okay. They can often hit you here. Alright, should be safe. Yeah, that's that spot. They can sometimes like just stun lock you on those dagger panels. This is really frustrating. But yeah, in terms of movement, I didn't mention this before, but the fastest way to move without like glitches is side rolling, which is what I was doing back there. But I'd never had a weapon before now, so I couldn't side roll until that spot. The second best is always rolling. even if there's no enemies around, you still want to roll and chain them together because it ends up being a little faster than walking normally. This is a very nice skip here. Gonna do a safety fall, and then the auto target from the archer there makes me grab onto the railing instead of just falling down, which skips like going around in a circle.
Instead, I'm forced to run and hide, sneaking around like a common thief, hunted in my own.
I'm gonna try and do this skip here because it is faster, and I can also show us something funny with it. Alright, I got it. So because I did that movement tech, I can get like really close to Kylena, which is the girl we're trying to save here, but I can't save her, so rip a 7-minute run. We still have to continue the normal way. Some more side rolling here. I just do jumps here to time the traps, just so I wait a consistent amount of time. 'Cause I got sick of trying to go too early and then dying. Gonna grab this secondary nice and quick. I just like roll grabbed it. Many people don't actually know you can do that in these games, but you can like grab weapons when you're rolling or backflipping or whatever.
Pay attention to
And we need that secondary for drop glitches, which is the super crazy broken way of going down in the game. I should start explaining zipping at some point, but let me kill this guy first. That guy can make my day a living hell, so I'm just gonna kill him. 'Cause he likes to shoot at you from across the map repeatedly. This guy is usually not a nuisance, but I'll just kill him anyway. It's on this dagger panel here. The first guy that I killed likes to shoot you there. Okay, so now we're at the end of this segment, which is where we get the Dagger of Time. And we can now rewind time, which is the most broken mechanic in this entire game, because there's a limit to how many inputs the game can rewind and keep in memory. So if we spam inputs, in my case I'm gonna mostly be spamming blocking and then little steps. So I have it like binded to the mouse wheel. So if you spam a bunch of those, you can break the rewind system, and it ends up exaggerating your movements and ignoring it ignores all collision. I do want to focus for this one a little bit because it's kind of hard. Alright, perfect. So I just fell down here, I used the drop glitch to get a checkpoint. Then I just go over here, there's a death plane there. And then I kill myself to load the area because we just skipped like a bunch of load triggers. Then there's 3 zips here. I'll talk more about zipping later, but the start of the game right here is like really difficult. And I want to get these zips in because it wastes a lot of time if I mess it up. And most importantly, if I don't get these zips, we don't get to keep the cloth costume that I have. So we must keep this PG-13 and prevent the prince from taking off his clothes. I'm actually going to do that again. Ah, I died. That really sucks. I think I'll give it one more try. Because if I get it the second time, I'll probably break even. And I think it's worth it. I didn't let myself rewind time enough. So I didn't have enough of the drop animation to survive the fall. That's a real bummer. I can do that like 100 times and get it every single time, but of course I miss it now. Alright, second time's the charm, hopefully. If I miss it this time, I'm not going to do it again. Okay, I got it, but I lost the sword. Okay. That's okay. At least I kept the cloth costume. I'm gonna have to do this old strat to get my weapon back here.
Oh, they do not seem to like the light.
If the prince will actually auto-target stuff. There we go. Okay. Good enough. That time I had like more than enough drop time. So I actually had enough time to to throw away the weapon, which is kind of funny. Yeah, it is worth just to keep this cloth costume. So yeah, that skips like a long cutscene, and normally it would let you keep the secondary, so you don't need to kill an enemy. But I had to do that anyway. So yeah, this is what a drop glitch is. I've been doing them already. This game is like really fast paced, so it's hard to explain stuff. But yeah, like that. That's what a drop glitch is, and you can also just combine it with zipping. So I just like threw the weapon, walked a little backwards to gain extra movement, and then when I fall down here, I can just fall down and not take fall damage. And you use that like throughout the whole game, pretty much. Here you can sort of see, like, so I just did a backflip, overload the rewind system, and then it gets exaggerated like tenfold. That's what us pop runners usually say, although it doesn't actually look like it's tenfold. Maybe a little more. In terms of vertical movement, when you do a jump, you do have to still time the release. If you jump too far, you'll usually die, except for special situations like right there, where the jump height is actually equal to the zip height, so I can just zip the entire jump and it's fine. Taking it safe here, there's a faster zip I could do, but I don't feel like dying since I already failed super skip, which are those 3 zips I did in a row. That's like, it's really hard to do it because you only have those 3 sand to do it, and if you mess it up, I'm gonna get extra sand just in case here. The way sand works in the game, by the way, is if you have 0 or 1 sand, you get a guaranteed sand drop. That's why I'm like kind of wasting sand before I pick them up. Because if I just give the prince 1 sand and then pick up sand, I can get a guaranteed 2 sand. Or a guaranteed full 3 sand tanks. So the zip looks pretty cool. You'll see some load triggers deload here, or some areas deload, I mean. And then we're going to land on this little out of bounds area, and then hopefully drop glitch off of this without dying, which is the reason why I got an extra sand. Oh, yeah, that's why. Okay. Alright. That's exactly why I got an extra sand. So I just went over to that corner for the conveniently placed load for these enemies, because I did skip the load trigger is supposed to hit to load them, and I want to load them to grab that sword, which is super useful because it regenerates our sand tanks, so now I never need to worry about collecting the sand anymore, because this sword will generate sand at a ridiculous rate.
I will simply have to resort to a more traditional form of
And it also takes the pressure off, because if I mess up a zip now, I can usually rewind to get back. I'm going to redo that because my angle was a little A little wonky there. Want to make sure I don't side roll to the left very much, because I might just like go out of bounds. Alright.
Let us hope.
So yeah, and I also grabbed the sand gate back there, which gave me 4 tanks. It gave me an extra tank, which I wouldn't actually take in like a world record attempt, because it takes 3 seconds to get it, but it's worth just for the extra safety.
His mind afire with visions of the justice he would visit.
And then this place is unloaded. I don't know what to do. Oh, okay, there we go. Cool. Works out. That's just because we skipped like we skipped a load trigger, I believe, for that area. But the chariot sections are nice, where they just like fix themselves with their loads if you skip them. There's certain areas that are like that. But like 99% of the time you need to hit every single load trigger, even when you're doing this crazy glitch with zipping. That's like the biggest limiting factor to it. I can't just like zip directly to the spot I want to go to more often than not, because I need to hit some load triggers before I go there. So if you're ever wondering why I'm doing some weird movement or like seemingly wasting time, that's like most likely why, because I need to hit certain load triggers. So the game isn't just black when I get there. So that's the first chariot section. They're essentially auto-scrollers. That one's pretty short, and there's one more that's longer. We'll deal with that when we get to it.
The once bright and vibrant streets of Babylon now stood all but deserted.
So yeah, like
Its inhabitants
again with
acted
this sword that I got from the red guard at the sand gate,
Those left behind
regenerates our
suffered
sand.
terribly.
So we ideally want to keep this for the entire run now. We're not going to transition into any Dark Prince sections. We're not going to
So focused
do
was
anything
he
like
on the
that. We're
vizier.
just going to keep this sword and zip the whole game. A lot of these zips are like meticulously thought out. Like that one has a kind of a weird setup, but it just ends up being the best way to zip through the area. This zip can be kind of difficult. I'll try it one time, and I already fucked it up. Great, let's actually give it one try. That might not work. I'll try it. The zips that were jump attacking, yeah, I missed a low trigger.
Pause. Whatever. Hi. We're running into some tech issues here. Runner says that his stream has no issues, but obviously there's like a frozen screen and everything. So we'll get that figured out. In the meantime, I'll pause the timer and we'll get that figured out. So hold tight. Alright, it looks like the tech issues are a little bit bigger than I expected, so we'll go quickly on intermission. The timer will stay paused, so just hold tight. Just sometimes this happens, sometimes we do have tech issues, but we'll be back very shortly. Unfortunately, next one is gonna say 2 Lunar Nights, because that's what's supposed to be on the schedule. So 1 second. Colorway. There. So that info is wrong right now. Trust me. There is. I will update that and then we'll be back shortly. So give me 1 second. Do you want to just go live or do you want to count down?
You could just go again, it's fine. I'll pick it up.
Alright. There. You'll be back live.
Alright.
There you go. 1 second. There. There you go. We're back. We're back. Sorry for the tech issues, but give me a countdown when you want to go again. So when you want to go back.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so you didn't miss much. That the zip where it crashed, where the stream froze, that platform up there is where it would have landed me. So I just land there and then drop glitch all the way down, and then we're continuing on our merry way with rewinding and flying everywhere. Alright, so this section is actually the quickest dark print section in the whole game. It's actually faster not to zip through them like I'm doing right now. But because of the sword, we want to keep it for later. So it ends up overall being faster, even though I'm wasting 10 seconds here by zipping.
Babylon's defenders still
Right, so we're up here, but the area is unloaded. Gotta backtrack for a load trigger. And then continue on. These zips where I do rolls, I'm actually just using the walking steps to zip them. Because since I don't need my weapons out to do them, it's kind of just more smooth to just use the walking steps. So I kind of just like hold the walk toggle, which is a button on the keyboard that allows you to like walk really slowly. and it's good so that it doesn't, so that no other actions get into the zip. Normally stuff like that is prevented because I'm just blocking constantly, and since blocking doesn't actually move you anywhere, it never messes with the zip. Alright, so this area is kind of neat. It's the first boss of the run, and you're not actually going to see the boss at all, because I just zipped into the hallway. I backtracked into this corridor here. The prince says he doesn't like the looks of this, even though he never saw the boss. And then we're going to do these crazy inputs and actually release the rewind so that we fall into the ground, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Fall all the way down, hit a load trigger, and then hopefully land back up here safely. Perfect. So now we're in the boss arena without the boss actually loaded. And then we do this crazy setup to hopefully zip to the end across the next area. Because normally you're supposed to like kill this boss and then fall down to the middle and do a whole dark print section. But if I have lined this up correctly, we can just zip through this whole section. So you can saw how big the section is down there. We just skipped the whole thing. It's pretty crazy how much area that one little zip skips. And the reason that's so precise is because of the down slash that I did. The attack in the air needs to hit a load trigger, because the way that those actually zip, not sure if I mentioned it, but when you do a jump attack, it actually zips. It goes down and then back up, so you can use it to sometimes hit load triggers that are below you. Alright. So this is the section here where we're saving our time back, because I don't need to kill a red guard by this sand gate to get the sword back. I can just zip on ahead and it's no problem. For that zip there, that zip's kind of weird, because I just I drop glitch and then I immediately do a block roll, and I just used the walking steps, which again is like scrolling the mouse wheel to overload the rewind system. And then I actually just start zipping those steps, and then it forces my angle to go through the door. This is one of those sections where I have to come over here to this platform to hit a load trigger. That's why I didn't just zip directly to this door. More drop glitches. This jump here, which saves, I believe it's like 0.2 seconds or something. Like, tiny bit faster than just taking the curtain down.
With the Dahaka defeated, the prince was slowly regaining pieces.
You'll see little sections like this where I don't zip, and it's not because you can't or anything, it's simply because there's not, doing it casually is just faster or the same as zipping. So you might as well just do it this way.
But the vizier's army still hunted him.
Alright, this zip can be kind of scary, because if I die... I just threw my weapon there to get an extra bit of distance backwards. Okay, should be fine. A zip can be kind of scary, because if you die or mess it up in any way, then the game... You can lose the sword, which is really bad, and the game can also, glitch out and never give you this checkpoint that I'm taking right here. So it's really good that I got that without dying. Even if you get the zip and rewind back, it'll sometimes be glitchy and never give you the checkpoint. Now we're just zipping throughout this garden area. Just tons of platforming. This zip is pretty precise because I need to hit a load trigger for an area. I have a backup in case it fails, but hopefully I just hit it. I don't think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. So this area is loaded. So we just landed on this out of bounds ceiling there. Just it's just a convenient out of bounds area we can just walk on. So thanks, random collision that's coded that you would never actually need casually. So just lined up that, hopefully to land right. Oh no, that's bad. Can I get back? Oh wait, it worked. Okay, there we go. I don't really know how that fixed itself, but it did, so let's continue. Sometimes zips are like that. You'll try and fix them, like you'll try and like retreat, and then it'll just fix itself in a different way. Yeah, this is a wall run extend. It's a really simple glitch. You just wall run, keep slashing your sword, rewind, and then it gets extended. Just tells you how broken the rewind system is. And then we're just gonna drop glitch all the way down here. This is another dark print section. And we're just gonna fall down and zip right through it instead of turning into the dark prints, because that's super slow and we lose the sword. Whoa, camera being kind of funky there. Ah, this door cycle is actually like kind of tight to make. Ah, and the prince is being really obnoxious with his auto-targeting. Can I make the cycle? There we go. Yes. The cycle is like a little tight to make. That's good. If you take damage there, it's annoying because you have to, when you try and block in the water here, you'll drink from the water. This is another zip where it's like perfectly lined up, so I can just zip a full jump. And that's the exact height that I need. So I don't need to time my jumps like normally with zips. I think I mentioned it before. But normally you need to time your release so you don't jump too high, because if you do, you'll just die. But for that one, the height is just so happens to be the right height. Like for this zip, if I rewind too long, then I'll just die. But if you get it the right timing, you'll be like really high up in the air like that, but then you'll fall down and not die. That zip is really funny. I find it funny because it's a really complicated zip. You actually zip like normal walking steps, which is kind of hard to do, and it only saves 8 seconds.
Is all right.
You are spending.
The section coming up here has a notorious trick that's... Oh, that was interesting. Ah, that's... Okay, I gotta do this again.
You are spending way too
and I
much
hit the load
time
trigger,
looking
so
after
it's
the girl.
in a
Is
very
this
weird
necessary?
position.
You sound upset.
I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Alright.
Sound upset.
Oh yeah, I already hit the load trigger, so I can
Are
just
you
go.
jealous?
Yeah,
Just focus
this
on
section,
getting to the palace.
we used to do a notorious trick that's still done in the NMG categories, which is the no major glitches category. But I found this zipping route that's actually the same speed. Another way to do it is to do what's called, we call it a cutscene drop, which is you need to like drop from a ledge on the same frame that you hit a cutscene, and then you fall down to this area without taking damage. But instead I can just take this zipping route. I'm actually wondering if I missed one of the load triggers. No, it should be fine, okay. It looked like I might not have jumped high enough back there. And if you don't jump high enough, you don't actually hit the load trigger. That's the whole point of jumping. So now we're just like zooming through these areas. These areas are like really quick zips. You just zip after zip after zip. That's what makes the game like so fast-paced.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
Fine. Waste your valuable time rescuing the princess.
And cutting off dialogue to do a zip never gets old.
Fine. Waste your valuable time rescuing the princess. I can only imagine what the vizier is doing right now. Probably expanding his army, torturing innocent
The
citizens.
zip is kind of
deciding
awkward
what
because so I don't hit the cutscene, which I did successfully. So that's good. Now this is the second boss. He's pretty difficult, especially if you're trying to beat her quickly. But we can actually just roll right past her with the magic of zipping. And there, we beat the boss, right? You can hear her laughing back there. I think we're the ones that should be laughing.
You do not know my motives, and you do not know me.
I am you, and the sooner you realize it, the better. Wonderful work.
This is another zip that involves using just walking, which can be kind of hard to do, but you have a pretty big area to land in, so yeah, pretty easy to do. I'll try this zip. I can't get it. I'll just abandon it because it can be kind of finicky. We're hitting a load trigger that's like parallel to our line of zipping, if that makes sense. So it can be really hard to actually hit it, and yeah, I missed it. That's why this area is still black. Try it one more time.
Well, you did lie.
I can line up maybe a little further to the left.
Yes.
But she would not understand.
Ah, oops.
Was I thinking?
Poor prince. His secret self had been revealed, and Farah quite
If I miss it again, I'll just do a different way.
disturbed. by
Okay, I
the
hit it
chance.
that time. There we go.
Perhaps he should have been honest from the beginning.
We gotta backtrack there for another load trigger, rewind, and then go this way. You can see how like ridiculously fast this sword regenerates sand. I'm rewinding even just for movement, and I still have the full 4 sand tanks. There's another jump sword zip. I need to get to a certain height so that I hit a load trigger. If I missed it, this area here would be black. That one's actually like really easy to do because you can see the prince's swords. So trying to tell like what height you did the attack is pretty easy to do.
In my youth, I would often lose myself in the back alleys of the upper city. I spent hours running, tumbling.
Just do this area casually because it's just faster than zipping.
Rooftops and passageways were secret windows onto other worlds. But
So
now
there's
everything's
a
changed.
zip here I'll try to do.
Dark,
This is
leaden,
another one that's
and the
really
sounds of life
difficult
replaced by a heavy stillness.
because of a specific load trigger we have to hit. I'm trying to get the camera. Let's try that. I'll give this a couple tries, maybe just one. Okay, I got it. Nice. Okay, I got it. First try. Actually, unironically, first try. Well, the whole point of this route is to avoid a death abuse. We used to do another death abuse here, but it's like 15 seconds slower to do that. So instead, we just do these zips that hit all the load triggers we need along the way. Okay, I missed the platform, but that's fine. Normally I would land up there, but I just gotta come over here and do an extra zip. Still like 5 seconds faster than death abusing, so success. Alright, now we're at the golem. There's a funny thing that everyone who does Two Thrones marathon run tries to show off, and I'll try to show off it as well. But this golem is kind of like, I guess it's part of the coding. I'm not sure if it's part of like the performance of the game, but if you do this section without hitting a wall, the game will just like, or the golem will just slow down, like incredibly so. I'll try and do it. So normally in runs, you would actually hit the wall right here to stop it from happening. Should happen like now. Yeah, here it is. You see I'm like slowed down a lot, and now it's like lagging. I think if you like actually do the whole thing without hitting the wall, it wastes like close to 10 seconds. It's kind of ridiculous. So you have to do that section badly in order to go fast. I was too good that time. So I wasted time. More drop glitches. Speed. Oops, that's not speed. This is another zip that can be finicky. Try and get it. The jump height for this zip is really awkward, so sometimes you can actually release too early and not land. There we go, I made it. Then I want to hang off that ledge, come back here, hit a load trigger, and then rewind. The whole purpose of this is to avoid an enemy that's down there, so I can just drop glitch. If I didn't do that, then because the vases are there, I would have broke them, and then the enemy would come attack me, and I couldn't zip right away. So I do that rewind to avoid the enemy from loading. Break the vases there. If you ever notice me breaking furniture, it's usually, like, if I do it before a zip, it's usually because if I spam block with the furniture around, the prince will target the furniture and change the angle of my zip. So I need to destroy it. Another way around that is using walking steps instead of blocking. But blocking is usually the preferred method. And that's another Dark Prince section we just skipped through incredibly quickly.
I must hurry and find a way inside.
Have fun with that. You can figure it out on your own.
That's a little, I guess it's a glitch. It's allowed in no major glitches though, so I guess it's a minor glitch. But if you just like swing off a pole and then immediately fall, you can fall from like slightly higher distances. So I just used that there to fall down and land on that little wooden piece without dying. That's it there. This is the one of the weird areas where you can actually skip a load trigger. I happened to get both of them that time because the area went to black. But it didn't actually matter. If I missed it, I still would be able to trigger the chariot like I just did now.
Shall I continue my story from here?
I think you're taking this hero business a little too far. You've already
Yeah, this is
saved
the
the
second
citizens.
chariot section. Slightly longer than the first. I think it's actually like quite a bit longer. And then after this we have the twins, which is a pretty cool segment of zipping, I think. And it gets us close to the end of the game. Once we're past the zipping segment after that, it's just the once we get past the darkness, which will come up, we'll talk about when we get there. You can see the prince has his sword. It's like facing upwards. It's because we zipped into the chariot. It always glitches out like that. It fixes after this cutscene up here. The boss fight after this is the twins, and the weird thing about this boss is like we can't just outright skip it because we're in this chariot segment, and you can't zip during the chariot because like there's no way to actually overload the rewind system, and even if you could, it doesn't even work if you can zip. So yeah, so we need to start the fight because it's triggered by a cutscene after this. The only way you could actually skip it outright would be to zip to this chariot segment instead of taking the teleport trigger and then walk this entire segment or zip it, but it would, either way, it would still be way slower than riding the actual chariot. So yeah, so since we actually have to start the fight, we're gonna have to find a way out of the fight while enemies are trying to attack us, and the easiest way that people have found to do this, shoutouts to Cribben, he figured out this strat back when I first started running the game, is to actually get hit by the axe guy and then zip that animation. I'm gonna get hit on purpose and then try and zip the attack he gives me. I'm just gonna wait a bit for my rewind timer, get hit, stand up, and then hopefully do enough inputs before the sword guy wrecks me. And there we go. We're outside of the arena now. And I want to come over here. I'm lost. It's over there. It's very easy to get lost in this area. I would prefer a better camera. To try to... That's a bit better. The area you need to go to after this boss fight is actually loaded, so that's where I'm trying to zip to now. So I just landed right into it. This is the area where you would be the Dark Prince and do a lot of fighting, but that's slow, so we're just gonna get here and then zip right out of it. It's an area where you could see the downwards movement of the jump sword very easily. But yeah, so that was the twin boss fight. It's over now. Pretty quick. Gonna try this zip. Oops. That's not gonna work. This is like a really long zip to zip this whole elevator in one zip. See if I can get it. No, it's not gonna get it. Alright, let's do the other strat. That zip is really annoying to do sometimes. It seems like it just like works, but there's a load trigger by the door that's really finicky to actually hit. Instead, I'm gonna do this route. I do a jump sword because there's actual like a higher platform I could land on, and I need to land on this middle platform. So that's the door trigger there. That's obnoxious to actually hit. And then I could just come down here and do a whopping 4 jump zip to get all the way to the top of this elevator. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Think we shall land back at the fountain of the elevator. Yeah, alright, so it's not too big of a deal, I guess. I tried to rewind trick it, which I haven't mentioned that that glitch before, because there's never actually a spot where you need to use it. But all it is just rewinding to the same location multiple times. And if you're lucky, you can get it to redo actions earlier in the rewind memory. So in that situation, I would have reverted the rewind to a point where I wasn't dead, and then I would have been able to survive the fall, but hopefully I can get it this time. There we go, okay. That just happened because I rewound too long. I wasn't initially going to go for this zip, but I practiced a lot, so I want to try to get it. That seems like it'll work. Never works when you want it to work. Alright, let's just go the easy route. That would have been a really sick zip that deloaded the whole area and landed me right to the spot where I needed to death abuse to continue, but just go this way instead. I messed up that jump zip too. At least we get to do some swag safety falls to dagger panels. They're always cool. They save like half a second, and it's really easy to mess it up and die. What I'm glad didn't happen though is if I failed that zip, I try to rewind. Sometimes you can hit a death plane, and if that happened, I would have had to watch a cutscene and killed some enemies. So yeah, if I got the zip, it would have landed me right over by this fountain. But it's all the same. So I just died there again to load triggers that we skip. Then we can come down here. And then zip over here, and then we're going to zip into the middle of this area because that's, if you actually complete this puzzle casually, that's where you're supposed to go. And then after watching a cutscene, there's a point where it triggers you. It teleports you down into the well area.
If you require a break,
I'm gonna do something kind of strange here. Oh wait, I didn't get it. That's annoying. I actually missed the teleport location. I'll explain what I'm doing with the menuing if I can actually get it here. This is a pretty like precise lineup. My setup usually doesn't fail me, of course it is now.
Tell me when you want to hear more.
There we go. So you see that fade out, and then as soon as it stops the fade out, I know it's ready. So what I did with the menu there is just it's called the menu glitch. It's used a lot in the zipless category of this game. Right there, I just used it to sort of pause the game so I don't die from fall damage as I wait for that teleport.
All you do is taunt and insult me. I do not know what you are planning, but I know that I do.
Yeah, so now we're down at the well segment here,
and I am ashamed that
which you're pretty obviously supposed to do this as a Dark Prince, but we can use this conveniently placed slide to get us down there. I'm not actually sure why that killed me. That was interesting. Can I get back? Okay, good enough.
I have nothing but noble intentions.
It's actually really surprising why it didn't get me down there without dying. I must have released it too early.
I understand.
Let's try that again.
What it means to be noble, and you are none of those things.
You self-righteous bastard.
I have put.
There we go. Okay.
Self-righteous bastard.
Then we gotta go Death Abyss again for load triggers. If you're wondering why we just don't like drop glitch all the way down here, it's because it's just too far down. You could do it if you had the slow-mo power, because you can do what we call an epic drop glitch, because it was found by a runner named Epic Dude Guy. And that just lets you drop glitch like a lot further. But if you don't have slow-mo, then you can only go so far, and it's not far enough to drop glitch the whole well like that, so we have to use the slide. And then I'm just continuing down the well here. These drop glitch zips are really easy because the distance that you're falling is really short. So basically, like, if you see the heads-up display, you can see when the secondary is actually put back into the prince's hand. And that's like what I use as a cue to know when I can stop rewinding. You can't always use that exact point, because a lot of the times you need a longer distance than that. But for those, it's really short, so I can just use those. This is the point of the game where you're supposed to get the dad sword. That's our dad over there. That's just dead. But yeah, you're supposed to get his sword, which is a really OP sword, and it also gives you light to see in this area, but that's slow. So we just skip it, and then we're gonna do this area blind instead. So I did the first zip. That one's kind of easy because you can see the fountain that you're zipping to. And then I'm just kind of walking around in this U-shaped corridor to get to the end of it. And then we have this set up here. Move all the way to the right, one step to the left. Reset the camera. And then straight back to this wall. And then we can just zip right out of the darkness here. And yes, I am zipping an attack off the wall. It's very fancy. It should. Oh, it actually landed me outside. Okay, that's fine. I can just die here. Ideally, it would land me inside of those rocks, so I can just hit the load trigger myself. But instead, I'll just Death Abuse to load it. Conveniently, there's a load trigger. There's a checkpoint right there, sorry.
Eyes had finally been...
I would have done a faster zip that gets me right to these rocks if I did the zip out of darkness correctly, but instead I had to do those two zips, but not too big of a deal. The Death Abuse here again to load more triggers. And then if I line things up correctly, I can zip right to the end into the kitchen. That looks good. This is a very precise spot. It needs to hit a load trigger and land inbounds. Did I get it? Oh, I almost got it. Oh no, the enemies. That's not good. Can I do this without the enemy? Okay, wait. I got an idea. Run away, run away. Alright, we're safe. So ideally it would have landed me up here, and then I would continue. But I missed the platform. Surprised I actually loaded the enemies, because that position is like further away. Oh, I didn't hit the load. I thought the load trigger was on this side of it. I guess I'm wrong. Is it over here? I'm so used to the other route of this, I actually don't even like remember where the load trigger is.
Wait until they stop moving.
There we go.
Wait until they stop moving before you attack them.
Alright, so that's like all the hard zips are pretty much out of the way. Now we're just racing to the end of the game. Yeah, still more zips though, like this one, which saves like 1 second, but I mean, why not?
You got a moment?
Yeah.
Given that you said end of the game, does that mean that times that you're going underestimate?
Yeah, it should be. I mean,
Right now it's, do you have a timer up or no?
I can see the stream. It's at 54. Right. Yeah, I'll definitely come in underestimate.
Perfect. Perfect. That's good.
As long as I can actually do these zips. I missed a load trigger with that one. That's why the area was just kind of not there. I think I got it this time. Yes, okay. Something I didn't mention with the roll zips, but there's this thing called animation canceling. And you can do that with like any animation in the game, and if you cancel them, they end up going shorter distances. So on that roll, I canceled the animation on purpose to get the right distance. That's a pretty precise zip. I'm actually really happy that I got that. A lot of the times I miss the load trigger on that one and have to fall all the way back down. It was really annoying. But yeah, so like for this roll zip, I need to zip further, so I actually want to like zip the entire roll. So I need to be careful not to start my inputs before the roll is actually over, because it changes how far the zip will go. And that zip can be kind of scary too, because if you zip past the wall, it can often crash the game. More super high zips, 2 jump zips, just like a really high distance to get up. But these tower areas of the final segment of the game are very, very vertical. You often need 2 jumps for them. Now we're nearing the end now. This is another really complicated zip to save 6 seconds. Hopefully I can get it here. Did I get it? Nice, I got it, okay. It's actually a fairly new zip. The only improvement is that it hits the load trigger during the zip instead of backtracking for it, which saves 6 seconds. Alright, so we have 2 zips left. This one. So I throw my weapon for slightly more distance. Land in this corridor, backtrack for a load trigger, and then hopefully I can get this in one zip. This is the final boss of the game, the Vizier. And if I position this correctly, I can zip straight up to where the teleport trigger is to end the boss battle. And I missed it. Aw, that sucks. It's fine though, I can just reposition and jump up. So there's actually a trigger in the air to end the fight, so as long as I hit that, then the boss fight will just end like so. And now I just insta-kill that guy because I rolled and picked up a sword, which I don't understand at all why it happens in this mental room, but it's a thing. Prince seems to like pick up an invisible secondary on the floor, and for an unknown reason it allows you to kill the Dark Prince at the start there with one hit instead of, it would normally take, I think it's like 3 sets of 4 attacks or something. But yeah, as a side effect I need to attack this guy in a weird way. All these Dark Princes through the mental room is what this area is called. I do a jump kick like that because if I just do a normal attack, it just doesn't work because of this glitch state that I have with my weapons. Wondering if this is going to be sub 1 hour. I think it's going to be like just shy of sub an hour. Oh, we'll see. Because the end of the game is very soon now. Just some more jump kicks. The other way you can do it is by doing a combo attack, which is what I did on the Dark Prince that was spinning on a moving platform, because the jump kick always misses.
Everything bad always happens to you. Boo-hoo, Prince!
Your words are empty. Have always been empty.
I want to try this weird thing.
You are just a desperate, selfish spirit.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. I don't actually know if that's faster, but I think it looks funny because it makes the platform spin twice when you jump to it when it's only supposed to spin once. Yeah, the normal way to do that is to like jump to the platform, then jump back.
No, I have seen the error of my ways, and I have atoned for the transgressions of my past.
Missed a jump kick.
I am no longer that person.
Alright, last skip of the game. Take 3 steps. And then jump from the middle of the plank, and we make it.
Set down your sword. Embrace me. Do you mean to kill me?
Oh nice, I got like 2 rolls into that. That's pretty rare. You can always get 1, and getting 2 is really nice. So time is coming up pretty quick now. We just gotta get to the end of this hallway with the bright light. Keep rolling, and then we're gonna do some attacks right about here. Oh, I missed it. Okay, that's fine. I was going to just attack into the cutscene, but it's whatever. Alright, so as soon as the prince stops moving, that's time. Time.
No! What are you doing? Do not ignore me.
Looks like it was like an hour, 1 minute. Alright. That was like, for failing sewer skip at the start, yeah, an hour, 51 seconds. For failing the sewer skip at the start, that was a really, really good run.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, because of the tech issues, this wouldn't be, like, even, I don't think this is PB, right? What's your PB? Just to get this out here, what would it be your PB?
My PB is 53, 55.
I mean, that's still a pretty good marathon run, given that how much can go wrong in this game.
Yeah.
Just judging from watching it, I don't even want to know how much can go wrong, but from just details that you wouldn't notice as a casual viewer. So
I think my marathon personal best is like 59 something. So this is really good.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, great job, dude.
There is a couple like funny things I can show off if we have time for that. If not, it's fine.
Unfortunately, we're not that good on time because if it only takes like 2 or 3 minutes, yes.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a save I can load and do it right away.
Then sure.
I'll just show one of them then.
not a full glitch exhibition,
Yeah,
just
no,
something you
no.
can show off.
Yeah,
Because
just some really funny things
Yeah.
we can do with zipping here. Like,
we are supposed to go on break screen in about 10 minutes, so
right,
that's the time you have for everything. Shoutouts,
right,
showing off. So just keep that in mind.
right. Yeah, just show off this one little funny thing. I just turned a ladder into an elevator. So this is like kind of the funny stuff you can do with zipping sometimes, because the game is not programmed correctly to deal with doing stuff like that with ladders. So if I zip the ladder, then rewind back, I can just like glitch it out and turn it into an elevator. So yeah, it's a fun thing to do.
This is like the perfect game for this marathon, by the way. Can I just say that?
Yeah, because like you just want
This is
games
like-
that are like really
Yeah,
glitchy.
you just zip all over the place.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There's one other thing I could show off, but I think it would take too long to get there. So yeah, I think we'll just end it there. Yeah, I load a save to get there. But yeah, that was really fun. I'm glad I got underestimate this time. My last marathon run wasn't, so this is good. But yeah, if you're interested to learn this game or any of the Prince of Persia games, you can check us out on speedrun.com. Got lots of resources.
Discord linked?
Oh, I don't think I have the link ready here.
I mean, like, is there a Discord link?
Oh, is there a Discord? Yeah, yeah. We have a
nice,
Discord.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
there you
it's actually pretty active, depending on which game.
Nice.
I think the most active game lately is
Yeah.
Warrior Within, which is the
So
second.
if you like,
game.
so if you like completely broken games, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially any percent. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh no, great! Thanks for running. Thanks for running. It was an amazing game, and amazing runner, and amazing run.
Thanks.
So,
right.
See everyone
Peace
for
out.
Tuhu Luna Nights, and I probably completely mispronounced that. So, until later.
Right. See ya.